Second of all, I'm shocked that you still have football going on campuses, because I'm at a school, I graduated, oh God, 1958, bang, very young, and pollution did this, and and it's very funny to see you still go to football games and everything like real people, but no, but you know what I'm saying, because there's usually a much more of a generation gap. So I wore my hooker shoes for the girls, just the, one sailor applauded, but you put these shoes on, you walk right to the docks, but which is great. But it's very hard to talk to kids, and you're not kids, because how old are you now? About 11. One smart ass. No, that's one smart ass, overbright kid. What is the average age? Like 20, right? So there's like 4 years difference between us, and yet oh sure! It's very hard to get old, which is why I had my kid a change of life, because it keeps you younger. But they believed it. Yeah. But I don't know really what to talk to you about. I thought if somebody would just start asking me a question, we can talk about almost anything, about comedy, or somebody asked me my sign, which is very interesting. Because see, when I went to college, we didn't even know from that garbage. That's I'm Gemini, which means, now you're going to go, aha, right? Because nobody ever gives you an answer. It's schizophrenic, I know it. Thank God, I'm making a buck. But that's, if I was normal, would I be doing comedy? Comedy is schizophrenic. But I could have been a Leo, but my mother had cramps. That's, see, you can't help your sign, right?
Larry.
That's, what are you? What are you? You're a double Sagittarius? What does that mean? You were a twin? What is it? What are you majoring in besides occult arts?
Philosophic sex maniac.
A philosophic sex maniac. Isn't that nice? Isn't that one? That's can you spell it, or that's next year? But that's See, because I majored when I went to college. You majored in. See, college isn't going to help you. See, you didn't expect that, did you? It's not. Once you get out, can any of you type and take shorthand? That's all it's going to count. You are going to, I was a philosophy major and I minored in anthropology. It's garbage. I got out, and my first job, they said, how fast can you type? Which is going to be, so don't go to Europe for your vacation. Go to typing or shorthand school. I'm telling you right now. And when you if the girls are going to get married, you still get married, some of you, don't you? See, that kills me, because in my day, you had to get married. I'm from you're so lucky. Do you realize how lucky you are? For 1972, my day, there were double standards. I took so many cold showers. It was so, yes, 1958, there were good girls and bad girls, goddammit, and it killed me. My best friend was Heidi Abramowitz, a bum. Had 106 abortions and married well. It's just not fair. Not fair. But everything has changed. But you still get married, some of you, don't you? But not so young. Oh, yes, you should applaud. That tells me you're Catholic. Is that, that's very good. What religion are you? Jewish. Well, that's the same thing. That's pressure. No, Jewish girls, you have to Jews and Catholics have to get married. See, Polish girls get no pressure to get married. None, because the mother can't remember. Is she married? It's already... Mother figures she's out in the bar and she's having fun. Leave her alone. But Jews and Catholics, Jewish girls, pressure? Do I know Aaron Fish? This is Aaron Fish's. Everyone. Oh, hold everything. This is Aaron Fish's brother. That's fascinating. Stop the whole discussion to tell me. I know Aaron Fish. He hangs out with my kid. Is Aaron wealthy? I'm still from the old school. Are you getting married? That's what you get the ring?
Yeah,
it's at the jewelers. Grow up, Jew. It's at the jewelers. When it's on your finger, you get engaged, and not a minute before. And get a big ring. Baptists get garbage rings. Baptist girls get the ring that's underwater. She thinks it's big, then the hand comes up and it's garbage, nothing. That's nothing. Because some of the old values still hang on. See, you don't like to admit it at this age. When you get out of college, you get a little older, you realize if you're going to get married, get the big ring and try to marry into the mafia. The mafia, yes. Mafia wives do the best of anybody because they don't give a damn. They're always 23 with boobies, terrific looking, loaded with diamonds. The husband is always half his size, twice her age, right? And she doesn't know what he does. I don't know what he does. He's an olive oil. Who's the dead guy in the back of the car? He's a salesman who didn't make his quota. Mafia wives have a very good time. But that's not talking about comedy. Who wants to know anything about comedy? No one. They left. Who wants anybody want to know anything? What's Johnny Carson like? Yes. What's Johnny Carson like? That was my question.
What are you like?
Well, who do I like? Did someone say?
Yeah, who's your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian is Jack Benny, because he's brilliant. See, none of you go to see him. He's in Las Vegas now. It's empty. Man has got the best timing of anybody in the world. He's brilliant. Jack Benny, Richard Pryor, who was a genius. A genius. Richard Pryor was the closest thing to Lenny Bruce that none of you ever saw and missed a great deal. And that's a tragedy if my generation, because they threw him in the toilet and after he was dead they compared him to Goya, which did him a lot of good. The day he was dead, the New York Times put out an obituary saying that this man was brilliant and they compared him to Swift and to everybody else who was also dead. But that's for those of you that aren't English majors. But some of them go Swift too. But my favorite comedian is Jack Benny, Richard Pryor, and George Carlin, who's brilliant. Brilliant. And who turned himself around, because George Carlin was a stand-up garbagey comic, and like 3 years ago stopped and just turned himself inside out and became what he is today, which is wonderful. And the one I hate the most in all the world, of course, is Bob Hope, because that's hypocrisy in action. And if you want to really get scared, because when you live in college, it's such a wonderful, ideal atmosphere, right? The Midwest still loves him, and he gets the highest ratings in America, and that's what America's all about, and you have a lot of work to do, I'm telling you right now, when you get out of school. And don't be passive, goddammit, because yours is a very passive generation. See, got upset now, but it's true. How many of you voted? Do you know how depressing that is when all of you can vote? Then you can't bitch. See, I want a queen. I think that would solve everything. I really do, don't you? I have a hairdresser who would be so the women would look good. No, but I don't like either candidate. I think both of them were garbage this year. I didn't like, but first of all, McGovern could have won if they didn't show his family. But the kids were losers. Did you see the kids? They all had pimples. You know, it's over. I don't want someone with acne in the White House. No. The Blue Room should not smell of Clearasil. And Nixon's family are too perfect. Could you vote? Tricia Nixon, was she perfect? Was that the perfect bride? You didn't every voter went crazy. When she was walking down the aisle, I was hoping she was knocked up, because that would be reality. If she were pregnant and if Kissinger had done it, I would have voted for Nixon. Yes. Because then you say that poor bastard, he has his troubles, what the hell, send him back. Because everyone votes emotionally, right? It's a whole different thing. How do we get on that topic? But it's fun, but that's why, like you sit here, what are you mostly? Sophomores, juniors? It's so hard, you go out and it's so tough. Don't get depressed and don't not do anything, because when you first come out of college you get so beaten over the head by the establishment, which is still very much there, and that's very depressing. And then you get what? I thought somebody put their hand up. I was hoping. What? Yes. I'm a very good friend of Dick Cavett's. Yes, we started together. He's wonderful and he's brilliant and he's terrific, but Johnny Carson's brighter. See, yes. Dick is very smart, but Dick talks to smart people. Do you ever see Dick is a much better program? Any one of us could talk to Orson Welles, right? All you have to say is tell us about Citizen Kane, Orson, and he's off. And then after 20, you say, shut up, Orson, here's a commercial. Shut up, you idiot. All right, talk some more, Orson. And you said, Johnny talks to morons. They give, that's smart. No one gives Johnny credit. I've done that show. You talk to people. They sent me out a guy, Forrest. You won't repeat this. Forrest Tucker, dead drunk. The guy's on the floor. You're talking to him, and he's like, I was on a show. Art Coney walked out and fell down. So you just keep going. You just talk over Art. We were on. You know who they give Johnny to talk to? Starlets. You know how hard it is to make a contact with a girl filled with silicone? It's a whole. Girl comes out, sits down, sees the red light, feels at home. Hello. And that's tough. And Johnny talks to them like they're really people, Well, how'd you get the part in the movie? Girl is dizzy from sitting up the first time in a month, and he's making conversation. See, oh, grow up, kids. See, that's what makes it. That's what I have such respect for Johnny Carson. And everyone puts him down. They think it's very tough to be up there and to be charming and to be witty and to ask them questions and make it look like you don't have notes. Because people go on that show and they freeze. There is such tension backstage, I can't tell you. It's very, very hard show to do as a performer or as a person. Only one that enjoys it is Dr. Rubin, because he's an idiot. Did you read that book? Is that a dumb book? Nothing good, no pictures, nothing. What? Did I see the movie? No, I heard it's very funny, 2 sections of it. And the rest, but you want to know something? Now I'm writing more and more, that Woody gets anything funny done is incredible. Because you don't know, you walk into a meeting, I can't tell you what's on the other side of the desk that's deciding what's funny, It's guys that are in ties and suits, and I keep saying Dayton, Ohio as a frame of reference. But, it's a whole different world out there that's going to give you the money. Have you ever gone to Dayton, Ohio? Are you from Dayton? No, but I've lived there. The only thing is the Air Force Base is the biggie. You know what I'm telling you? They're proud of it, which tells you where they're at. Every woman is in high heels and socks in Dayton, Ohio. It is... See, we're all in an ideal community, because I'm from a big city or a college campus. Ideas are going and people are reading softcover books. It's terrific. You don't know. My sister lives in Georgia now. She subscribes to Woman's Wear Daily, and they asked her if she's a pinko. It's a different world out there. She went to a fashion show at Sears Roebuck. They didn't have models. They held open the catalog and pointed. Do you know what I'm saying? And they'd applaud. It's a whole different... I played Billings, Montana. That's when I learned you can't reach everybody. I was doing my act. They'd stand up and go, hubba, hubba. It's just... There was a woman nursing a child in the front row in a nightclub. Is that class? Is that... And go tell a joke. You look down. I couldn't believe it. The kid was 14 years old. I thought... Luckily it wasn't hers, but I didn't know that till... Anybody... Yes, somebody else had a question. I thought, yes. What kind of lover is Edgar? From a college kid. My husband's English, so it's a little different than the average American lover. His idea of foreplay is reading the New York Times. But, well, Englishmen are very... But once they get started, they're okay, right? But you see, Italians are the best lovers. Oh, come on. Yeah, Italians, God bless them. You never saw... The sexiest men... You never saw homosexual Italians. Stop and think. The minute they turn gay, they make them nuns. It's an automatic thing. Yes. Which is why so many nuns have mustaches. You can check this out. See, I know a lot about Jews and Italians because I was brought up in an Italian Catholic neighborhood, which is why I'm funny. Because I tell you the truth, and you all go, so what? Do you know what it means to be the only Jew in a Catholic neighborhood? Do you know what I went through? Do you know what it's like to be the only kid walking around Ash Wednesday without a hole in her head? Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like? Because when you're in a Catholic neighborhood, you go with your friends. I was the only, every Saturday I spent on my knees in confession waiting for my girlfriends, right? Never got to go in. My girlfriend, Connie Barry, screwed the whole football team, went in the box, came out pure. It killed me. Killed me. Because who is a Jew going to confess to? The Cadillac salesman? Who are we going to talk it over with? Who? And what's he going to give you for a penance? Go buy a Volksbus? You know, it's a whole different... Somebody had their hand up.
Miss Rivers.
Yeah, yes.
What kind of man was Ed Sullivan, and do you miss Ed Sullivan?
Yes. That's the answer to the first question. No, Ed Sullivan, they always make jokes about him. Let me tell you something. This man was... Nobody stays on top in this business that's not sharp in some way. Do you know what I'm saying? Ed Sullivan used to plan the program. He knew what America wanted, which is a genius. He brought the Beatles over first. He put Elvis Presley on first. Everyone forgets and they make jokes about him. This man was a great showman. He was not a fun person. He was... and very often his mom was on the show and did a whole thing, and he went over to shake Ed's hand, because that's when Ed liked you, he called you over. Otherwise, you didn't get called over. So you stood like a half-wit waiting for him to go like, right? And Woody went over, and he said to Woody, for no reason, how's your father? So Woody said, thank God he's able to sit up and he recognizes me now. But, I mean, you just... He was very strange sometimes, Ed Sullivan. I did his program for the 18th time, and he said to me, come to rehearsal, it will help you. Like I didn't know. But he was very bright, and this tragedy is how fast the water closes over. He's off, he's gone. But he was a nice man, too, and he wasn't, once he liked you, even if you bombed, he'd put you back on. And things like, the terrible thing about his program was the audience. They used to bring in Girl Scouts, literally, bus it. You'd look down, it's kids with medals. Well, and you're doing a thing on having a child, you know, and you look down, you say, anybody here have a kid? When the audience is holding blankets, you're in a lot of trouble. Anybody, yes, somebody else had their hand up, they didn't have a mic. So, yes, scream it out. That's a whole routine. Tell us it is through California and New York, right? I like California now because it's insane and I'm fitting in. That's, the only thing I miss, there's no subtlety here. And also there's no hostility. New York, it's a pleasure. You walk around, what the hell do you want? You know, your fingers stay thin from giving people signs all day long. It's wonderful. It's just, out here, California, everybody smiles. There's only one store, Gucci's, which you should, or Gookies if you've never been in, you just read the sign, where they treat you like New York. If they don't like you, they won't wait on you. You know, I like that watch. Sure you would, Jew. Well, you're not going to get it. See, that, and the perverts out here have no subtlety. New York, see, I miss New York. New York, the pervert's terrific. You know, little black anklets, a raincoat, nice, you know. Every once in a while, out here, the perverts wear see-through raincoats. There's no fun. They don't have to open them. See, it's that, and the women and the men are all too good looking. If anyone isn't gorgeous, get the hell out. Go to New York. The girls are pigs, so you're going to be a winner no matter what you look like. Which is wonderful. Look at Linda Bird. No beauty, she. Come on, we can talk truthfully. She was a nice girl. Would you take her out? Big, lumpy, oversexed loser. Galumph, you know. But a nice girl. But nobody gives a damn about nice girls. Any girl that's here wasting her time learning is a fool. Take the $12 for books and get yourself redone. Get your face fixed. Because all that counts, my dears, is looks. True? And what? No, don't tell me no. Don't give me intellectualism. Garbage. Garbage. I believe the same thing. Nobody's going to talk to you about Proust unless you're cute. And I'm telling you, stewardesses, that's what every girl here should go become. That's what they like, short skirts and no brassieres. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Eleanor Roosevelt was a brilliant woman. She was a widow 19 years. You ever ask her out? There's your answer. And she was a lonely bitch, let me tell you. She sat in my living room and said, fix me up with somebody. She said, a dentist, anybody, a chiropodist. She said, I'm lonely. See, it just dribbles off. Yes. I moved here because the business is here. And I like it here now. I'm a typical New Yorker. You couldn't tell from my accent. You all thought English. I know. And And I didn't want to go. I love a big city, and I love there's no place in the world like New York. That sounds very chauvinistic. It's filthy, it's dirty, it's the most exciting, glamorous city, and everything is happening there. The arts are happening there, and the writing is happening there, and the theater is there, and the ballet, and the opera, and the museums, and it's so exciting. The people walk fast, and they're busy, and they're doers. But the business all moved out here, and you have no choice. Either you get out of the business, and this has other virtues. This is a wonderful place. I'm bringing my child up, and it's nice to send my little girl outside. I'm not scared. New York, I never sent her out alone. And the weather, which I can't stand, but is wonderful. See, I like ugly weather. I don't like to, this to me is heaven today. When I wake up in a rotten mood, I don't want the goddamn sun out there. I don't want that. That depresses me. When I wake up and the flowers are going, good morning, oh, shove it, come on. You know, I don't like that. But I like it out here, and there are more and more creative people coming out here. Carson moved out because of the divorce, and he was just fed up with, we're talking very frankly. He moved out because he just wanted to get away from everything. And he adores it out here, Johnny. He loves it. And I moved out because of that show, and my husband's a producer, and he works out here, and we were commuting. And how long can you stay in the Beverly Wilshire and steal that towel? Sooner or later, you got to, I don't steal from A&Ps. That I think is garbage. I take my kid in hungry, and I give her a box while we're walking through, of cookies. But that I feel is getting back at, you know, Hugh Hefner, or whatever his name is. But what's his name, who owns the A&P? Howard Hughes, same thing. You know who I mean, Hartford, honey, in Hartford. But hotels, I believe that when you open your door, and the maid's card is there, and there is no maid, it is a religious experience. I feel it is God's way of saying, enjoy yourself. You can go anytime. I haven't taken a bath with a full-size cake of soap in 12 years. I just take them. Yes, a hand over there. Women's liberation. Now I'm going to lose the whole audience. I am so against it that I think it's such a wonderful time for girls and women, and if we're bright, we're getting places. And my best friend is Barbara Walters, and she made it before women's liberation. I don't want to be called Ms. That is so lesbian looking. I don't know why. It's like call me Dyke. It's just. I think it's wonderful. I think women are getting into many, many more things now. But the whole world is changing now, which is terrific. And I think, yes, it kills me that women don't get the same pay. Things like that absolutely should not be allowed. But it's also nice to be feminine, and I am thrilled I'm still a sex object. I have 4 more years. I am when they don't whistle is when you want to kill yourself and go bang, bang. And Gloria Steinem, who's the head of the whole movement, with the streaked hair and no brassiere and the boobies hanging out, she isn't a sex object. She is thrilled to be a sex object. So that's what I think about women's. I think the wrong people got a hold of it. I think that you can have all the freedom you want, but it's also very nice to be pretty and feminine, and I love having a door held open for me. My husband has see, that's when you get married, it's over. Once in 7 years, he held the door open for me. We were on the freeway. It was just, that's depressing. Yes.
How do you like performing in Vegas, and do you like to gamble?
I don't gamble because, you know why? Because once you start, you're finished in Vegas. How do I like performing in Vegas? And everyone's into them forever. So why look at trouble, right? I take $1 a day. They love me at the machines. I love Vegas because the money is like a joke. It's a telephone number, right? You stand there. I'm doing the same act. God bless you. God bless you again. It's the same act I did in Greenwich Village for $30 a week. I mean, change, but nothing's changed. But I enjoy Las Vegas. What does get me mad, is that I always try to educate them a little bit in the act, which you shouldn't do. I'm always throwing my politics in cleverly, and I'm always trying to show them the hypocrisy of somebody like a Wayne Newton, he has a letter from a guy from Vietnam with a bullet hole in it. Have you ever seen his act? Who wrote, and as he was dying, said, "Dear Wayne Newton, please sing me Danny, boy." Truth. And he reads the letter with the same goddamn bullet hole 4 years. It's a Xerox copy at this point. And he breaks down the same spot, and the people buy it, and that gets me furious. You know what I'm saying? Because that upsets me. But I love Las Vegas. I can't say I don't. And the audiences come to be entertained. So you have people that want to laugh, and it's a pleasure. And you walk away. It's a joke. They give you the check and you laugh at the check. You go, are they crazy? But then you stop laughing when you take out your taxes and your accountant and your manager and your business manager. And suddenly you say, God damn it, I can't have a new dress. So it balances out. Yes? The worst act I ever followed? Oh, so many. You mean in difficult? Or I followed a monkey act in Gross Singers once that went to the bathroom. The truth, all up well. And you can't smack a cute little monkey in an outfit. Son of a bitches, they did all my jokes, all my arrangements. That and Tanya the elephant I worked on Ed Sullivan with. She bills herself as an orphan elephant. You can't win. It's over. Are you going to hate an orphan elephant? Everyone's going to look at that little orphan elephant. Shared the dressing room with her, which got me took all the towels. What a toughie. What a toughie she was. And she took a look at me, went over, opened the window. Do you know? Ed walked in, said, I want to apologize for making you share the dressing room. I said, it's okay, Ed. He said, I'm not talking to you. But I'm trying to think the worst act I ever had, though. I can't really think, except like following an animal act. You can't win. Cannot win with an animal act because I adore them. Yes. I first performed, I performed all my life, and in college I was a serious actress, right? It was only O'Casey and O'Neill, and perhaps a bit of Shakespeare, but nothing humorous, except when I said it with my accent. But then we all started in Greenwich Village. I started out in a very interesting time, because there's no comedy coming out of your generation, you know that. Or you don't know that. There is no comedy. Tell me one person that's in your generation. Who? Tell me. Swami, I never heard of. Oh! I thought of him as tall, dark stranger. No, but everybody, David Steinberg, Carlin, who else? That's it. Cheech and Chong, I heard their record and I think they stink. Now you're going to hate me for this. Because there's no payoffs. They're talking about wonderful things that we can all talk about now, about dope and pot and garbage and things like that. But so what? But there's no payoff. It's me, I got the stuff. Who are you? Right? It's me. David's not home. I mean, but so what? You're waiting for the big Sacco line that doesn't come. But I don't like that. But we're all from the same generation. David Steinberg and I started together in the Village. Comedy stopped for some reason about 7 years ago, and nobody knew it was come up, and I don't know why. I don't understand why.
What about the Fireside Theater?
The Fireside Theater?
Fireside.
I can't hear you.
Fireside Theater.
What are they? See, I don't know this. And they're very new. Are they doing comedy?
Yeah.
Improvisation?
Yeah, they're mostly recording.
I'm going to get an album then, listen. Are they good?
Yeah.
They're tremendous.
They're not like the garbage that just, what?
Well, as a matter of fact, they used to be on radio here in L.A.
See, I'm not from L.A.
Which is really, it's really
Never
strange.
made it to New York, did they? Puff, puff.
It's really strange. No, it's really strange because I just got here from New York in September.
You have an old radio? How did you hear them?
No, on some of their albums, they sort of say where they were on radio and what they were doing before '72. And I come out here and I find that nobody knows them. Nobody has even heard of them.
See,
really
but it takes a long time to get heard of. Everyone thinks George Carlin, for example, just arrived. As I said, we started together. We were both on the first Ed Sullivan show in 7 years ago. You figure it out when. It's a long time ago. Flip Wilson, we were all together. We all started in the Village, which was a very exciting time. I was on a bill with Dick Cavett, Rodney Dangerfield, me, Joanne Worley, and Lily Tomlin, who's a very close friend. Brilliant. Lily spent the last weekend before Laugh-In with me. She came to Las Vegas, and she was scared to death. She was, which shows you what acceptance means. Bombing all over the country. Everyone's going, what? What? Went on Laugh-In, and now she's the hottest thing going, and she's brilliant and deserves to be. But we all were down together in the Village, and nobody gave a damn. There were like 6 people every night in the audience going, huh? You know. And that's the whole group. Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of Jonathan Winters?
Jonathan Winters is a genius. Yes, see, again, it's the wrong generation. He's wonderful. When he's brilliant, he's brilliant. When he's terrible, he's terrible. The sad thing is with television, you can't be brilliant because they edit you and they cut you down, and the immediacy of improvisation doesn't come across. I'm from Second City, which is from Alan Arkin and all this stuff, right? Yes, we used to go on television all the time in Chicago. Never worked. Because when you do first line, last line improvisations, if the audience isn't there, they don't know what you're talking about, and it doesn't work on camera.
What do you think? What do you think of Don Rickles?
I think Don Rickles is wonderful. See, here we go again. Yes, he cops out at the end of his act. At the end of Don Rickles' act, Don Rickles could sit in this room and go down every line here and get every one of you and get you right. You know what I mean? Get you so close. There's a little blood there, but you have to laugh. Ha ha. But he gets you so close. He once did a thing about a younger wife and an older husband. She won't give him the pills, and everyone was laughing. But the guy died that night. But and the pills were in her pocket. But then he cops out at the end with a plead for brotherhood, and you shouldn't cop out. That's what was so great about Lenny Bruce, because what you're saying, in essence, is what Lenny Bruce said, that everybody's something, so who cares? And he left it at that, and nobody understood that when he was saying it. And Don Rickles says the same thing, and then he cops out at the end to make nice with the audience, and he tells them I'm a father, and when I was standing next to my friends during the war, God didn't care what we were. God cares. Rich people get in a lot faster to heaven. I believe this. If I were God and you gave me a rose window, you'd be first. I'm telling you right now. I'd let the poories in also, but I'd let the richies in first. You know, what the hell, they gave. That's, and yes, scream out. Scream out from there, I'm wall-eyed. Bill Cosby has stopped being funny. He was a good friend of mine. Bill Cosby came out here, he did my first liner notes on my album, and he was wonderful in the Village, and we were very good friends. Bill Cosby is now a star, and what happened to Bill happened to Jerry Lewis, happened to Bob Hope, happens to a lot of people. You get a lot of people around you that aren't going to say that, gee, that doesn't quite work. And who is going to, it's like, did you see Queen Elizabeth's picture in Life magazine? She's 25 years married, she's sitting with her legs apart. Did you see that? Is that a Jewish yenta? I couldn't believe it. She's like this. Who is going to say, put your knees together, Your Majesty, right? Who is going to say, play the cymbals, baby? Nobody's going to say that, right? Nobody's going to tell Bill it's not funny. And that's what happened to Bill Cosby. And it's a tragedy because he's so bright. He needs someone to say, no, that stinks. Now get another line. And he's gone into the superstar bracket now. And you can't talk to him and you can't reach him anymore. Which is the difference between him and who else becomes a Well, Flip Wilson, let's stay with blacks, right? Flip Wilson is going to be around forever and be funny forever because he doesn't stop working. And he doesn't care if you say it's not funny, he doesn't care. So he changes it. And that's the difference. That's why Flip is still funny, I think. It's just my opinion. Now we'll all go turn on the Cosby Show, he'll be brilliant tonight. And you'll say, what did that dumb bum know? But, yes. Bill Dana, I think, is hysterical. I think Jose Jimenez was hysterical, and they made him stop it. All the ethnic humor is Do you know Johnny Carson said the word Bruce, and he had to apologize on television because it now connotes homosexuality? Isn't that sad? I think it's so great. Just screw every ethnic group, and then nobody cares. That's the fun of it, if you can hit everybody. Right? Leave the Polacks alone. Leave the Polacks alone. You're so right. Now spell it. P-O... That's right. Leave us Polacks alone. But I saw Miss Polak. She had a sign, Miss Poland, P-O-L-L-L-A-N-T, in the beauty contest. It was on back with the bathing suit. Poor devil. That's she was wearing trunks and no one noticed. There's so many great Polish jokes. The Polish parade starts at the East River and they step backward. It's just... See, if I were... You know why they pick on the Polacks? Because they don't know they're being picked on. It's a pleasure. Yes. Hollywood Squares, you don't know your questions and they give you the answers, including Paul Lynde, grow up. And... It doesn't matter. He says them. Oh, I know. But he says them, and he's a brilliant actor for saying them. So you get your little ad libs, see? and you don't know what the question is. You got to smile for an hour till they pick you. It is so depressing to do that show, because you have to have the energy. Because Joan, yes, you have to be ready. And then you have your ad lib. You don't know if it's going to match the question. It's crazy show. I hate to do it, but a buck's a buck. It pays for it pays for the car outside. Yes. Carol Burnett's the best sketch comedian alive today. She's incredible. And Harvey Korman's wonderful. And you want to get depressed? You know how the male goes on that show? Carol Burnett, then what's his name? Lyle. But great looking. Then Vicky, then the orchestra leader, and then Harvey Korman. Nobody knows what a great feeder Harvey Korman is. And nobody cares, except Mrs. Korman. That's, who'll leave him when it's over? No. Yes.
I mean, so isn't it the fact that Johnny Carson's show isn't edited, you know, the one that makes him great? I mean, as a comedian?
His show is very edited. Sorry about that. That's before you go on, you talk over everything you're going to say. But then there's always an ad lib that's going to come up, which is what makes it great. Those are the great moments when he falls apart and the audience falls apart. That's what makes it fun, and they can keep it in. But I said a line about Onassis, and Onassis tried to sue NBC. I mean, there's such pressure. All I said is she must have had some wedding night with him, right? Which is which is true. Can you imagine spending the night with Onassis? She went crazy when daylight savings came in with an extra hour. And now, is that such a tragic line, right? He called the network and he was going to have Olympia Airways sued and me sued. So there's always... I made a remark about Western Union, who happens to stink. I'm sorry. If I want to call up and give a message, I'll call. I don't want to spend $2 to have some dumb operator call, right? Or else they mail it. Do you love that? Did you ever get a Western Union? They may mail it to you. So I happened to make a remark about that, and Western Union was going to sue me. There's such pressure, you're scared to open your mouth. I said candy grams are stale. Well... I got a candy gram and 4 worms spilled at the message. You know. You walk off and there's a lawyer hitting you with a subpoena. You're scared to say anything, so now I'm always saying, only kidding. I said Annette Funicello had a mustache. Well, which she did, but it's waxed, but she had it. She was next door to me in Elizabeth Arden, they were pulling it off. And I almost got sued. You just can't say anything anymore on television. Somebody's going to sue you, and that gets you crazy. Yes, in the blue jacket. Phyllis Diller has impeccable timing. What I don't like is she does old kind of jokes. It's take my wife please joke. You know what I'm saying? But she's wonderful in what she does. Her timing's very, very... Obviously, they're crazy about Phyllis Diller. But her timing's brilliant. Yes. Well. If I did do another talk show... I did one for 2 years, obviously. I didn't see it. But, which is why I'm not on. But, no, I think talk shows have had it. I am so bored. Aren't you sick? If I see Virginia Graham and Joanne Carson and Johnny Carson and Dick and Merv, it is so dull, and Susskind trying to be intellectual on this much of a mind. It is so, is that a surface, right? Let's discuss homosexuality today. You know, it's just boring. But I'm just bored with talk shows. I love, of course, which nobody ever watches, I love documentaries and old movies. I will watch Greer Garson go through hell anytime. Stuart Granger can take me through the jungles. I like an old movie. You know, but that's just, yes, in the hat. Oh, well. I don't know Goldie Hawn at all, but she was a message. One more question? That's the question? No, I can't leave you on Goldie Hawn, though. I don't know her at all. She was handled beautifully. That's all I know about her. She was handled, they pulled her off of laughing at the right moment, and they handled her, as they say in the business, perfectly. They made her, see, where Mark Spitz is put right in the toilet already. Oh. He's over. Oh, he could have had a great career going. We all loved Mark Spitz, right? They should never have taken him out of the water. Never out of the water. In the water, he was a Jewish Charlie the Tuna. He was adorable. They took him out. They gave him the milk commercial. He never looks you in the eye. I like milk. The eyes are moving. You see that commercial, you go out, you buy Gatorade. It is the worst. The worst. I'm allowed one more question. Yes.
I was going to ask, what about
show business getting tied up with people's sons. Let me tell you something. You're going to hate me for this. If you have any pull in any business, use it. It's a very tough world. But then what happens is, if they don't have the talent, they fall right. Dean Martin's daughter tapped her way into nobody's hearts for 3 summers. Right? So it doesn't matter. Nancy Sinatra has a show in Vegas you should go see. And then every once in a while I go, which one's Nancy? And she's one of 24. It doesn't matter, but I know my little girl, if she ever wanted to go into the business, God forbid, I would push as hard as I could for her. But then they fall by the wayside. Anyhow, if they're not good, America doesn't care. Little Lucy and Big Lucy, right? Lucy Arnaz, who was a very talented girl, but America doesn't care. And she's on the Mother Show all the time. Do you care? Do you all run home to see, gee, little Lucy's on, let's tune in. The hell with the test, I'd rather flunk, I don't want to miss this kid. I mean, it doesn't matter. If they don't want you, they throw you right back up, right? We didn't end with a question or a laugh. What? Liza is brilliant. Is that a performer? Can you imagine if her mother had been normal, she would be nothing. Do you ever think about that? What made her whacked out is the whole background. Is that a genius? Is that a biggie coming up? Liza Minnelli, is that a superstar? Yeah. Liza, and you know who else? Go run to see Diana Ross. Go see that. She's out of the sequins, and it's incredible. You can't believe it. Who? Eddie Albert Jr., I didn't see the show, but I heard that, I heard from some people he's good, and from some I heard nothing. So I don't know, but I heard from a lot of actor friends that liked him. Listen, you're just great. Thank you so much. It worked out great.